Hey everyone, it's me Nita and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm really excited. I'm going to be filming a tutorial slash me sewing bummies for the first time. So I don't know how good the tutorial will be, but basically I'm going to show you guys how I sew bummies, and this is going to be my first time. So if you guys watched not my last work with me, possibly my last work with me, I did a fabric haul on a bunch of new bullet fabric that I just got in stock. So I'm going to be using some of that fabric today to make some bummies that I'll be adding to my Etsy shop. So let's just go ahead and head over to my fabric room. That's where I'm going to do all the cutting and preparing the pattern to be able to make the bummies. So let's head over there now. Okay, so I have the pattern all printed out, and I'll have the pattern linked down in the description for you guys. So looks like it's 4 pieces. And I made sure to print out the test square just to make sure that I printed out the pattern the correct size so it's not off. But I tested it and everything matches up. So I'm going to be doing 2 sets of bummies today. I'm going to be doing, of course, my sprinkle fabric, since this is one of my top sellers for bell bottoms. I'm thinking I should also do bummies too for it, just because I feel like those would be a really good seller too. I'm also going to be doing this guinea pig. In my last video I said these were hamsters, but apparently they're guinea pigs, and I didn't know how popular guinea pigs are, but apparently they're super popular. So I'm going to go ahead and make some bummies out of this and list them, and we'll see how they do. But I'm going to go ahead and trim down my pattern. I'm thinking I'm going to do like a size either 6 to 9 months or 9 to 12 months. I'm not sure, but I'm going to cut down my pattern to the size that I need it to be. Okay, so I have my 4 pieces cut out. I'm hoping that I cut them out correctly. I'm going to go ahead and take my fabric and get it ready. So with knit fabric, or if you use bullet fabric, I like to use bullet fabric. It's just my favorite material to use. It's a little bit thicker than most knits. That's why I like using it, but you could use a knit fabric that has like a 4-way stretch or a 2-way stretch. Just make sure that when you are cutting your fabric, you're paying attention to the stretch of it. So I always like to stretch out my fabric and see which side has the most stretch to it. And then when looking at your pattern, and sorry about the poor lighting in here, you'll notice that it says place on fold. So basically you're going to fold your fabric and you're going to put this piece on the part where it would be folded. I like to use these little fabric weights. They're pretty inexpensive. There's glass fabric weights, and I got those off Amazon. I have them linked in the description if you guys are interested. Okay, so this is going to be the back of the shorts. I don't know how well you guys can see it with the shadow. So you just need one piece for the front and one piece for the back. Now I'm going to do the cuffs, and you'll need 2 of these. So you'll notice that it says place on fold, but it also says the direction of the stretch too. So we want to make sure that when we're placing this down, that we have it folded this way, and we want to make sure that the stretch is like the stretchiest going this way, if that made any sense. So I know that this is the stretchiest part, so I'm going to make sure that the fold is going this way. Two cuff pieces, and then we have to do the waistband next. Okay, so I have the waistband cut. So what the nice thing about these shorts or bummies is I still have a ton of fabric left over. I think this fabric goes for like $15 a yard on the website, and I was able to make one pair of shorts and still have a ton of fabric left. So I'm guessing I could probably make, like, depending on the size too, I could probably make like 2 to 3 more pairs of shorts, maybe even more if people order the smaller ones. So that's really nice. I still have a ton of material left. That's a big perk. I also plan on adding some like head wraps to my Etsy shop using bullet fabric. I sell like the strips of fabric already pre-cut for people to like purchase off my Etsy. So I have like the 5-inch strips for people to make bows or head wraps, and even though I offer these in my shop, I don't make them. And I get customers asking all the time, like, oh, can I add a headband or a bow to my outfit? And I always have to tell them no, because I don't know how to make them. So if you want to see a video on how I make those, let me know down in the comments if you want to see a tutorial on how to make head wraps or hair bows using bullet fabric. Because I do plan on adding them to my shop to go with outfits, so that's on my to-do list. Now I'm going to do a pair in the sprinkle fabric. I also have this cute cow print that I want to make a pair out of, pair of bummies too with this print. So I have a ton of bullet fabric, and I just need to get to listing. So I'm going to make a pair with the sprinkle fabrics, and then later on, I'll add some other prints to my Etsy shop, but for today's video, I'm just going to do this print and the guinea pig print. Okay, so that was super fast to cut out, so let's go ahead now and head over to my sewing room. So I'm going to be using my serger for this project. Now you don't have to use a serger. You can definitely use just a basic sewing machine. You'll just need to have a zigzag stitch on your sewing machine to do the pants, but you definitely don't need a serger. You can use a sewing machine, but for me, since I have a serger and a serger is so much faster at sewing, I'm going to be using my brother's serger. It's a 1034DX. I also have this linked down in the description. I only paid like $1.99 or $2.99 for this thing, and this thing has definitely definitely has paid for itself multiple times. Since getting this machine, my entire business has like grown so much. So this is definitely one of my favorite tools that I have for my business. I love sewing, and just having a serger is so nice to have, and I can't wait to get a cover stitch as well. And then down the road, hopefully one day I can get an industrial one. I'm still learning this bad boy, so I'm definitely not ready for one of those, but when the time comes, it'll definitely be nice to upgrade this to an industrial one. And same for a sewing machine too. I want to get an industrial sewing machine as well. But yeah, let's go ahead and let's start sewing now. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with this guinea pig print. So what you're going to do first is you're going to take the front and back piece and place them right sides together. We're going to sew down the two sides right here, and right here in the middle we're going to sew right there. We're going to make sure to not sew the top portion of the pants and then these two openings right here. We don't want to sew those because that's where the legs are going to go. So we're going to make sure and leave this part unsewn. We're only sewing the sides and then the crotch area. And for my settings for my serger, I have it set to 4. Depending on what type of fabric you're using, you might have to adjust. Now you can use pins, you can use these little tiny clips to clip your fabric in place. I don't really use those, only when I'm doing like the waistband or when I'm doing the cuffs, I'll use those, but for like the sides, I really don't need to use those. Okay, so I just sewn the sides. Now I'm going to sew this little middle part right here. So now you can flip these right sides out and you can kind of already see them starting to form. I'm going to go ahead now, I'm going to do the waistband. I'm going to open up my waistband, fold it in half, and I'm going to sew right down the side right here. Okay, now I'm going to flip it right sides out and I'm going to fold it in half again. So I'm going to flip it like, not inside out, but I'm going to flip it inside. And then I'm now going to use a pin or a needle. And where I have this seam, I want to make sure that it matches the seam on the back. And I like to use just a pin for this. And I poke the pin through the seam and making sure to get that pin to go through the other seam. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I do that to make that helps line up the seam, so it's not like crooked. Sometimes I get it just right, and other times it's off just by like 1/4 of an inch. It's really not that big of a deal, but you definitely want to try and minimize it as much as you can. And I find that using a needle versus like these little clips works a lot better at getting that seam matched up. And now, so basically I put the needle there and I folded it like this way. Put a clip here, my pin's right here. Now I'm going to open it back up, line up that pin and that little clip. And sorry, my camera's like not focusing on it. And now I'm going to put 2 more little clips right here on these ends. And that's just going to help me match the waistband up with the shorts. Okay, now you have your shorts. You'll notice your shorts, you'll have a piece that's longer in the back and then the piece that's shorter, that's going to be the front. So I want to make sure that this back seam is in the back. So you have your shorts and you notice that there's the side seams. So I'm just going to go ahead and put 2 little clips on this side so I know that like that's the center point. And again, you can use pins, you can use clips. I'm just going to use clips to help with that. So we'll have our front and our back piece. So now I'm going to take my waistband and I'm going to have the shorts turned inside out, and I'm going to tuck the waistband, raw edges on top, they're gonna match up with the raw edges on the top of these shorts. Now you have the back of your shorts, that's the longer piece. As you guys can see, there's a shorter piece in the front and then a longer piece in the back. I'm gonna make sure that the waistband with the seam, that this is gonna be the back of the shorts. And I'm just matching up the clips with the seams, pinning them, okay, just like that. And now I'm gonna take my shorts and I'm just gonna sew along the top. And as you can see, it kind of like pops up a little bit. When you're sewing, you wanna kind of stretch it out so it flattens out the fabric a little bit. So just keep that in mind when you're sewing, to kind of give that fabric a little stretch. I also forgot to mention too that if your fabric is directional, make sure that the waistband is going along with the direction of the print. I forgot to check, because usually I don't deal with prints that are directional. I try and stay away from them just because it's easier for me when sewing. I don't have to think about it. But with this fabric, it's directional. So I had to undo the waistband and flip it because I did it the wrong way. Luckily, I caught it before I'd sewn the whole waistband. So I only have to do a few stitches. But I'm sure like all of you, you guys can relate on how much seam ripping sucks. And I literally hate seam ripping. So this is going to be the best tutorial because obviously this is my first time sewing these. I'm no expert in these, but basically just get to watch me sew today. Also, if you don't follow me on TikTok, definitely go follow me over there. I have my TikTok and Instagram linked down below. I'm trying really hard to grow both of those platforms. I mentioned that in my last couple of videos. I've been trying to post at least one TikTok, one reel a day, and I've been doing pretty good. I took like 1 or 2 days off though, just because I have so many Etsy orders. I currently have like 34 open orders, and I honestly should be working on those right now, but it's the weekend and all my orders are caught up. I don't have any orders that have to go out for like 4 days. So I'm trying to take a little bit better care of myself and make sure that, you know, I take days off here and there. I can't work every day. It's not good for my mental health. So I'm trying to take at least 1 day off during the weekend just to spend time with family and not work on orders. I still like to film content, but filming content's fun to me. Editing videos is fun for me, so it doesn't really feel like work. But being able just to sit and like do like a little tutorial for you guys is fun for me, so that doesn't feel like work. Okay, so basically what I'm going to do is just flip the waistband and reattach it. Guys, I just noticed I did the waistband upside down even though I just unstitched it and tried to fix that and prevent that, so I'll have to unstitch that. I'm not looking forward to that. See, on the inside, okay, and now I see what I did wrong. So on the inside, it's the right direction, but when you flip it this way, it's upside down. So I have to bust the seam ripper out again. I'm thinking before I do that, I'm just gonna go ahead and sew the cuffs on. So I'm gonna take the cuffs and sew along this side. I'm gonna fold them in half and sew along this side. There's 2 of them. And then just like the waistband, I'm going to fold them in half so the raw edges are together, matching up that seam. Okay guys, so I figured it out. I got the little leg part right. The fabric is going the right direction. So basically what I did is I tucked the little cuff in the inside, and then I made sure that when I was sewing the fabric was like the direction was going downward, if that makes any sense. So I just need to remember that for next time. But I'm gonna go ahead and do the other cuff, and then I still need to undo the belt and redo the belt. But these are turning out super cute. Okay, so I still need to, like I said, I needed to undo the waistband, but that's how these came out. So cute. I really wish I had a little baby to try these on because I'm curious how they look on. But I'm gonna go ahead and start sewing the sprinkle ones just because I need a break from my seam ripper, and then once I'm done with those, I'll seam rip the waistband off and I'll work on getting these listed. I'm excited to just keep adding new stuff to my shop. I've been doing pretty good at adding a bunch of new things, so I'm gonna just keep adding stuff, especially anything donut themed, since like that's my top seller. I'm just gonna keep adding as much donut stuff that I can think of. Whenever I sew my bell bottoms, basically, like I'll have my embroidery machine running, and for one shirt to get done, I can get 3 pairs of bell bottoms sewn typically. So I think that's 3 bell bottoms per half hour, but that's not including the time it took me to cut the fabric. So I could probably cut around like 4, maybe 5 bell bottoms in an hour, which is pretty good. I'm thinking I could probably cut more bummies than bell bottoms in an hour. I'm kind of tempted to test it out and see how many I can get done. I feel like the longest part is just the cutting the fabric. And I'm thinking, because I am getting busier and busier, I have 36 open orders now. So I'm thinking if I continue to keep growing the way I am, I might have to either have my husband start helping me cut fabric, or I might have to like hire my brother to help cut fabric, because that's something simple that they could do. Just because I feel like cutting fabric takes so much time, I could literally just sit and sew and sew and sew all day. I feel like the longest part is just the cutting of the fabric, and it's my least favorite part too. Okay guys, so I'm done. Let's go ahead and flip them and let's see how they look. Hopefully I didn't ruin them. Oh, how cute. So not too bad. Super cute. I really, like I said, I wish I had a little girl to try these on, or at least a baby to try these on. Now with this pattern, it goes up to, I want to say it's size 6. So I'm going to be adding these to my shop. I don't know if I'm going to go up to a size 6. I might just stick to baby sizes. I'm not sure. I haven't decided yet. But these are so cute. So I'm going to go ahead and unstitch this waistband, and then I'm going to take pictures of these. I'll show you what these look like once I'm done. Okay guys, so here is the finished product. Finally got the waistband correct on these pants, and I just noticed that this is upside down. Guys, when I'm doing these, I'm going to make sure and stay clear from directional fabrics until I can get the whole placement down, but it's good enough for a photo. Definitely I would double check, triple check all that before shipping it out to a customer, and I would definitely fix that. I don't know why I can't figure out the direction on when pinning the fabric. Down in the comments, let me know a tip or trick that you do to make sure that you have the fabric going the correct direction. I really love how these turned out, and the nice thing about this fabric, it's not directional, so I could do the cuffs and the waistband whichever direction I want, because it isn't directional, so it won't be upside down if I do it a certain way. So I'm going to take photos of these, get these listed on my Etsy shop. I plan on making a ton more of these, so stay tuned for more of these in future videos. So definitely this wasn't like a tutorial on how to do these correctly. If anything, this is a tutorial on how to do these the incorrect way. But I still hope you guys enjoyed watching me struggle on making bummies. Like, once I figured it out and got like all the steps down, like this pair, I was able to sew up quickly. But because I had so much trouble trying to figure out how to place the fabric to make it to go the right direction, and having to seam rip it not only once, twice, 3, 4 times, because I'm gonna have to fix this little cuff down at the bottom. This pair took me forever to do, but I'm definitely gonna try and stay away from directional fabrics and just try and focus on ones that aren't directional until I get like the hang of it. But the sprinkle ones I was able to do super quick. I didn't have to use a lot of materials for these either, so I'll be able to offer these at a cheaper cost compared to like my bell bottoms, because the bell bottoms tend to use a lot more fabric because of the bells on the pants. The bells alone take up so much fabric. So I'm not sure how much I'm going to charge for these. The fabric is $15 a yard, so I just need to sit down and try and calculate how many shorts I can get from a yard and how long it took me, and try and figure out the cost of everything. So that's something that I'm gonna go work out right now. But I'm hoping that these sell well. I do plan on adding matching headbands, head bows to them to kind of have like a matching set. Of course, I'm gonna offer onesies or shirts to go with them. Luckily, I have a bunch of donut samples that I could already pair up with the sprinkle bell bottoms. And I'm hoping that these little guinea pig ones, I keep wanting to say hamsters, but I'm hoping these guinea pig ones sell well. Apparently, they're a big hit. I had a follower end up messaging me telling me that guinea pigs are like super in right now. So we shall see how those sell. If they sell good, my company that I go through for like my wholesale fabric, they have so many cute like little guinea pig prints that I might just have to purchase some fabric from them with guinea pigs on it if these sell well. And then I'm gonna have my husband too digitize a shirt to match these, so I can have like an embroidered shirt to go with it. So I could do like a hamster one, and then I could just do a basic strawberry one too. So I could do so many options. So my mind is just going a mile a minute right now, because I have so many ideas that I could do with these, and pair like shirt ideas that I could pair with these shorts. So I figured that I wanted to add bummies because summer, which was crazy to think, is gonna be here in no time, and I need to offer some type of summer type of clothing, because I don't think bell bottoms will sell too much because it's hot. So I don't know how well bell bottoms will do during the summertime. So trying to offer some summer items, so there's just different options for customers. So I'm trying to stay with the seasons. Well, that's gonna be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to give this video a like. I'm sure I'm gonna get a lot of dislikes because of the tutorial portion of it wasn't that good, but you guys learn from my mistakes. And if you guys wanna see more videos like this, or a better tutorial once I get the hang of how to make these, definitely let me know down in the comments, and I'll do that. And I have a ton more tutorials planned for you guys. I have so many ideas and so many new things that I'm adding to my shop. So if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you can see all the new fun stuff that I'm adding to my shop. And if you haven't already, make sure to follow me on TikTok and Instagram. I'm trying to post every day on both of those platforms. So if you guys want to see more videos and I'm not able to get a YouTube video up, definitely you'll be able to see what I'm working on Instagram or TikTok. So definitely go follow me there. But I think that's it. I can't think of anything else. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye!